Good morning. You're now listening to Kingston Community Radio, airing on FM 92.5 and AM 920 WGHQ in Kingston, New York. This programming is brought to you by our listeners and corporate underwriters who are interested in presenting local community radio. The opinions expressed on this program do not represent those of Pamel Broadcasting or Kingston Community Radio. Listeners are encouraged to send in $10 per month to help bring this program to you. Mail your contributions to Kingston Community Radio, Post Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York, 12402. For more information or to donate online, visit our website at mykcr.org. Good morning, this is Dan Gaddis, and thank you for tuning in to a terrific Tuesday with Nina Postupak and Cameron Rylance. It is Tuesday, January 18th, and right now 26 degrees outside, a little warmer than a couple days ago. But we'll be right back after these messages.
Okay, man, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're going to go out there and be an all-star caregiver. Cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Show the world that you're tougher than tough. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can. But it's just as important to take time for yourself. AARP can help. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Eleanor Arrow from the town of Ulster, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
Well, a 50% chance of snow showers this morning, high of 28 for all day, and peaks of sunshine later in the day, but we're going to get a little bit of snow this morning. 12 degrees low for tonight, partly cloudy skies early, giving way to cloudy skies late. Again, a low of 12. And then Wednesday, more clouds than sun. Oh, well, okay, high about 40 degrees. And Wednesday night, a low of 27, cloudy with a few flurries or snow showers possible, about a 25% chance of that. And Thursday, 30 degrees, clouds early, and then partly cloudy in the afternoon. A few flurries or snow showers possible, about a 20% chance of that. And a morning high of 30 degrees with temperatures falling to near 20 throughout the day. And we've got a bitterly cold Thursday night. And I mean single digit 2 degrees on Thursday night. And obviously, it's a clear night. Okay. Good morning, guys. How are you doing? How's a terrific Tuesday starting out for you guys?
Started out great, actually. I walked out the front door and was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. No, it was not.
It was not bitter cold. I mean, we got about a 26-degree thing, just a little under freezing, but we'll take it.
Yeah, my car says 30 at Uptown Kingston.
Right.
It's pretty accurate. So.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how your perspective changes so quickly when you're in single digits for like 2 or 3 days? How 27 feels a little warmer,
and
right?
It was getting cold last night.
It was.
I didn't want to. I was prepping my garbage to bring out because it gets picked up. Well, normally Mondays, but and
exactly.
When the snow melts or ice rains, there's a huge puddle at the end of my driveway. I had my Crocs on, so the guy, I'll wait till the morning when it freezes.
I know. I got drenched too. I was taking the dogs around, and on the way in down at Kings Point Park, on the way down to the river, it was clear. On the way back, there was about almost 7 or 8 inches of water across the path.
Wow! The tide came up.
No, well, that plus there was a warning of flooding yesterday, the melt flooding. Yeah,
combination.
Yep.
Of everything.
So I'm outside this morning taking the garbage out, and my son comes down the front. My front porch is like 10 feet in the air, sort of.
Yeah,
like, Dad, will you start my car? I'm like, Ben, I'm taking the garbage out. Come on, man. You know. All right, give me your keys. So
you start his car.
He wanted his car warm for his ride up to the Xena. for
I don't
the
blame
lineman
him. I
school,
don't
so.
blame him at
Oh,
all.
speaking of, I'm going to gloat. The people on the radio can't see this. Well, maybe I could if I held it up, but I just want to, brag. My son started lineman school.
Yes.
Lineman Institute.
Yeah, last week, right? Or the week-
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And he loves it. Very difficult. I mean, the equipment they carry up and down the pole is like, holy cow, like 30-pound tool belt.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. But
It's like wearing a
You have to-
backpack up.
yeah,
the pole.
but it's from like day one there, they teach you how to strap up, put your gear on, and climb a pole. It's I'm just looking for some photos that were shared.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's amazing, though. You don't think about that, like just the tools alone, to have to carry those up the pole, balance yourself. And then and normally, a lot of times when they're up on those poles, it's because of bad weather, whether it's storms,
That's
snow,
exactly-
ice.
Like you should see it when it's windy. Those
Yes.
things sway.
I can't even imagine.
I have to find them out during the break or something. I don't want to waste time.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's
congratulations
amazing.
to him.
There's only a couple kids that are local, like one from like Onteora, kid from Rondout, but Ohio,
Oh, really?
Massachusetts, Vermont, Maine, Pennsylvania.
I believe you were saying at one point that there aren't many lineman schools
there's
throughout
only a
the.
few of
Yeah.
them. And demand is skyrocketing.
Skyrocketing. Yeah, even locally,
Yeah.
Central Hudson is looking.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the time wise, the expansion or retirement. All the utilities and companies. In the 70s.
Yeah, sure.
really
People were
ramped
taking
up,
advantage of the.
and now,
Yeah.
all these 30-year employees are retiring very quickly.
Do they have? I believe they would have to have special clothing also, like
Oh,
to keep
yes.
them warm and so forth. And
Fireproof.
yeah,
You
right,
get electrocuted.
Yes.
You don't get caught on fire as well.
right.
God forbid. Sounds
Terrible, but true.
terrible, but true. But
Yeah.
very, just heavy duty everything. The boots. Because they gap. Put the spikes on. Gaffs they're called. They're not spikes. They're spikes.
Okay,
They wear on the
gaffs.
ankles, they climb up the pole with the thing.
Yes, yes.
Which is really neat. The system. It's you're never supposed to not have one connected. So you have two. So.
It's always a safety measure.
To climb over a thing, because telephone poles have wires and other
Sure.
crossbars. You got to cross. You take one off, put the other one on.
Yeah,
The safety protocols are pretty,
yeah, strict.
adhered to. Yeah, extreme.
Yeah.
Everyone's life's on the line, and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How long of a program is it?
it's like 4 months.
I would believe.
It's
I
a
mean,
certain number of hours,
yeah.
and then additionally, there's CDL licensing and.
That's true. Driving the trucks and so
Yeah,
forth.
there's
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
that on their own they have to take these OSHA courses, online.
Right, yeah, sure.
It's concurrent, but they do it, out of the classroom and stuff.
Yeah, no,
so.
absolutely. So,
yeah,
yeah,
you're
good
doing
for
great.
him. That's great. That's wonderful. Yeah, and we have the mayor on this morning, right, at 7:30. I think
Yeah.
everything went well with the storm. Seemed like everybody
I think so.
here. You would know better
For
because you
the
live in
first
uptown.
time, all the neighbors in my section of block on Fair Street got in sync and correctly did the
Ulster side parking.
and for except for one yo-yo, but generally there's 6 yo-yos on both sides of the road. But this
Right.
is just on one side. So, and then at the end of the day, they came through again. But yeah, enough. If people follow the rules, the system works great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think people are finally getting the idea of what they need to do and how they
Yes,
need to
yeah,
do it.
There were about 8 cars in the parking lot yesterday morning.
Here,
Yeah, people trying to get their cars
Get off
off
the
the
street.
road.
Yeah,
'cause
good.
Nobody's
well, I
staying
see
overnight here.
They did. They spared no expense on the snow removal here.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was not
Really, get a
what
shovel
camera's
and
referring to is to get through the front door here today. You had almost,
Nicely.
yeah, they plowed very nicely. You had to almost climb over a snowbank.
Yeah,
to
there
get
was
to
a
the
little
door.
salt along the wall, but there's this huge
Yeah, well, they
pile
got to
of snow
shovel
right in front.
the
What's
still
remnants
there.
out of the way.
Yeah,
Spared no
absolutely.
expense.
That's for sure. But yeah, so I was glad to see that. We'll hear what the mayor has to say, and also he had his State of the City this past month, so maybe he'll talk a little bit about that at 7:30. And then at 8 we have Bill Forte, right? And Bill tells what's going on with the veterans here in Ulster County. And then 8:30 you'll have your co-host from last week.
Yeah,
Thank you, Christine Hine, for filling in the executive director of People's Place.
This time she's here for People's Place.
That's right.
Not my co-host.
That's right, absolutely, as a
The,
guest. So, which will be great.
Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised last Wednesday or Thursday when I opened up the paper and saw the results of that public hearing about the Kingstonian.
Yes.
That the overwhelming support, the grassroots overwhelming support was more heard than the out-of-town vocal minority opposition.
I was very glad to see that. Yeah.
Yes,
I
it's
wrote
good.
my letter of
Well,
support
there was
for
another
it.
letter in the editor to the paper.
Yes, there
I
was.
meant to bring the paper in, darn it.
Yep.
Lauding the misinformation campaign, lauding Kingston Freeman for printing Chris Ree's article about the reality of the situation, and it won't hurt the firefighters or emergency response. Countering the
Yes.
propaganda misinformation that was, published,
Put out there.
advertised. In the
Advertised.
The Freeman didn't print that.
No,
That
they
was a
paid for that. That was paid
advertisement.
Yeah, no,
So I'm
absolutely.
glad some clarity has been shed on that.
Me too.
Situation,
Absolutely. So hopefully, the project will move forward.
Yeah.
So many positives for it, and
Yeah.
it has been a long time, and the developers have stuck
Yeah,
through it
something
all.
else I want to ask Mary about the tiny houses. What's going on with that? Because I saw that's
Yes.
taking a step forward, which I think is a
Excellent.
cool idea.
Oh, I think it's a great
Novel
idea.
approach. Something the current system doesn't work, so we need to obviously try something else to house.
It helps leverage people into homes
Yeah,
so that they can
absolutely.
move on afterwards.
Current system
Absolutely.
stinks,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
let's try something new.
Well, I'm glad to
Absolutely.
hear. I'm glad to hear how positive the Kingstonian hearing was.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
very good. Now I can say we need 4 or 5 of them, not just one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Spread around.
Exactly.
Marlboro. There's some big housing going in Marlboro.
Yeah, there
from what I
is.
understand.
Yeah, I heard that also.
I wish I have seen a little bit more coverage on it. But I could be searching, but that's great.
Yeah, it's definitely
land down
southern
there.
part of the county, and a lot of need for it down
Yeah.
there also. So, which is great.
And certainly up in up 28 a spell. There's
Yes.
plenty of room for lovely apartment complexes and tastefully done and into the landscape. I mean, I just don't
And like when Sue Copenhagen's on from Office of the Aging, and she talks about the difficulties facing seniors up in that area.
Certainly.
A senior project up there would really be very beneficial to everyone because it's difficult. And, transportation, we talk about this all the time, services, because they are up in that area. It makes it more...
Say for something like Woodland Ponds, another facility like that.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, those are
assisted
great. They generate,
living, yeah.
money. They employ lots of people.
Yes, absolutely.
And we all know the population is graying, and keeping people in their homes as long as you can.
A
Yes.
school is
Best
going to
thing.
close in
And then-
Socrates.
And then if you can stay in the area, if your family's here, if you can't stay in your home, you can at least stay local. It's the best.
It's a
Absolutely.
win-win for everybody. Yeah, no,
so-
absolutely.
Yes, a school is
Golden Hill, it's
consolidating in Socrates. There's elementary schools that are consolidating in Socrates in 2023.
Yeah.
And those schools make incredible apartment buildings.
I bet.
They really do.
Some retooling.
Yep.
Absolutely. So we'll see. But, and the Golden Hill, that's awesome, but that's 4 years down the road before
Yeah, it's a
people
while
are moving
before
in.
things will be happening there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So
Years down the road. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a big process. So
it is absolutely.
these are imminent, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what the mayor has to say at 7:30. And of course, this is a call-in show, 331-9255. If anybody would like to call in with any of their going on in their neighborhood, any suggestions, ideas, we're more than happy to hear from everyone. And I'm sure the mayor would love to hear from you at 7:30 if you have any concerns here in the city of Kingston or anything that's a positive that you want to let the mayor know about too, because there's a lot of positive going on as well, which is a good thing. Within the city. So, and I see the numbers are declining, Cameron, for the COVID
yeah.
positive in Dutchess County.
Just say, rising,
Yes.
decreasing sharply. something
Yeah,
to
so
that
that's a
effect.
good a good sign.
Another testing facilities opening up.
Yes, and at SUNY at Ulster.
SUNY Ulster,
Yes, yeah, and there's one at SUNY New Paltz. So, which is great. Availability for people to test, very important. So,
But
and of course,
it's so telling that the numbers. I saw a graph yesterday. The people in ICU, on ventilators, in ICU, and critical care. There was 3 categories.
yes,
Somewhere, 114 patients. 92 of them unvaccinated. On ventilators, 42 patients, 38 unvaccinated.
Vaccinated.
It was like overwhelmingly evident that it, the
That the vaccine
vaccinated people
works.
are way, way smaller component than the people that are of the hospitalization. I'm not saying that correctly.
Yeah, no. So you
Sure,
can, yes, you can get COVID with the
Unvaccinated
vaccine.
people are clogging up the system. Is the
Yeah.
bottom line.
And
so.
if you're vaccinated, the severity of COVID appears not to be as terrible or as,
yeah.
great as if you're unvaccinated. And I believe now the percentage of people over the age of 18 that are vaccinated in Ulster County is up to 80%. Yeah, yeah.
Well, we're a hot spot. There's still places around.
We are, and you have to still be
But
careful
we sure
wearing your
did have a
masks.
surge. We did have a surge, boy.
Yeah.
And I can
The other
attest
day-
to 3 people that I know were fully vaccinated with boosters, did get the virus, and weathered it out pretty much like a pretty bad cold or a mild flu.
A few days, right?
Yeah.
4 days.
Well, sometimes more,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
just
Yeah.
to be
Great. I'm
just
glad
to
they
be
were-
negative on the far side,
Yeah.
so that you
No,
can get
I'm
back to
glad-
work and
It's good that they mended.
stay active. Now they're
quickly,
quarantined.
so.
And with the CDC new guidelines, 5 days now for isolation, for quarantine, which is a good thing. I know it's gone through our office recently, and I'm thankful that everybody, like you're saying, Dan, cold, flu symptoms, things of that nature. But they recuperated, some within 5
Yeah.
days, some a little bit longer.
I always have cold and flu symptoms. Always
I-
achy. Always got a stuffy nose. I always have a slight nagging cough. I mean, that's like normal. So,
That's your
not
life,
what
right,
you-
Cameron?
I may have had COVID for the last 15 years. I don't know. Be the patient zero.
You
Okay.
you might really dedicate your body there to science
Yeah.
afterwards to figure out what's
Yeah.
going on.
The freak show or something.
That's for sure. Oh gosh! So, did you watch any sports this weekend?
Yeah, sure did. Watch some great football games. And as usual, all the Dallas Cowboy fans on Sunday morning, they were
Jerry
going to
Jones
the-
was not
they were going to the
happy.
Super Bowl on Sunday morning. Busting my chops. Hey, Cam, what time does the Giants play today? Oh,
Yeah.
well, don't you worry. We'll be both of us will be on the sideline soon enough.
That's right, and that's exactly what
Hour and a
happened.
half later,
Yeah.
we're both done
What
for the
time is
season.
Dallas playing next weekend?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's funny. But yeah, no, interesting. Huge. What a sports gambling in New York. Boy, they've really
Yes.
Every other commercial on rock and roll radio is Caesars, WinBet. There's like 4 FanDuel. There's like
And it just started last weekend, right?
Yeah.
I wonder what type of activity they had. I didn't follow it too much.
when
but
I remember hearing when it's been in Jersey, mobile.
Yeah, right.
For a couple of years.
yeah.
But I guess when it first opened, like people would drive over to Georgia because they locate your phone, like it's geolocated. It has to be
Within New
No,
Jersey.
The satellite knows, or not the
Where
satellite.
you are.
The cell towers know where you are,
Right.
and then thusly the computers and all that. But like in Patterson, you go over the GW Bridge and like you take that first right. It's like goes to the Palisades. There's like a little pull off gas station there, and I guess like people would be like waiting in line to pull over to stop and sit and make
Do
their
their
bets,
bets.
and stuff. Yeah.
So now they can do it right here in New
You
York.
got to cross the bridge, pay the bridge toll to go bet.
There you go.
But yeah, that's
The revenue that it'll generate for the
gosh,
state.
I mean, heck, illegal sports betting with bookies, and that's probably got to be $1 billion in New York. I mean, it's huge. It's got to be massive. I mean, the mob made
Yeah,
bread
right.
butter,
Off the-
forever, and the 5 families or whatever you want to say. But I can't imagine what the market's going to be. And
I
how
know.
much that money's going to trickle down to, it's supposed to fund, mental health. That there's a thing.
Right, there's a whole-
law that
yes.
said revenues are supposed to help pay for certain things, not just potholes.
Not going back.
Yeah.
Not going back into the general
There's
fund.
earmarks. I forget what they were. I remember reading them. There was a list of earmarks that the money was supposed.
So you hope that they do go to that,
Oh,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
I
And
hope
it's
so.
As profitable as they say.
Is it still happening with lottery? There were certain
Yeah.
earmarks for the lottery.
to
that-
education.
Yeah, to education and to seniors and things
Yeah.
like that.
Well,
Is
same
it
as the
still
thruway,
happening?
Right? The thruway is supposed to pay for itself and then be free. Well, yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't take that cash cow.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, there's something called
still good.
sweeping the funds, where they could go in and sweep those funds if they need them.
You know, at least it's revenue
So,
that we
you
don't
hope.
have to yank out. You know,
Yeah.
with taxes. You
Yeah.
know, it's extra revenue.
Yeah, I
that
mean, I'm
keeps
not
the
going to
taxes
spend a dime
down.
on them. I
I've never
I don't like
gambled
gambling.
in my life.
Yeah, I'm, you know,
But I appreciate the people that get excited over it.
amen.
Yeah,
Yeah, and if they're going to do
Sure.
it, let's do it here in New York State.
Yeah,
Why
do it
go
legally.
across
Why
to
send the money
Jersey?
to
Do it.
or offshore. I mean, that's online.
Yeah, that's-
you know,
yeah, that's
you've
huge,
been able to illegally gamble online for a long time. you know,
I think
offshore.
I always limited like $50 or something like that if you go to one of these casinos.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh,
usually
yeah.
you go there for dinner.
That's
they're
usually-
great places
Yeah,
for
that's
dinner.
like to me. That's a special occasion. It's not like a routine gambling thing. Or like if you go to
Exactly.
Saratoga, I'll bring a couple $100 to lose.
Oh yeah,
you
the
know.
casino.
I'm-
Yes, yes,
Exactly.
it's
I'm
not planning on
fun.
winning,
Yeah,
but
just
I'm
for
happy
fun,
to lose it
yeah.
because you got your planning.
You do the slot machines a little bit, blackjack, whatever.
Horses,
Yeah. Yeah,
Same. Yeah.
yeah, those are fun.
On a daily basis, no way. It doesn't.
I don't know if you can. Yeah. I have to agree with you there.
Yonkers, the horse racing in Yonkers was fun. I did it once.
Yeah,
It was just
absolutely.
fun. It was a nice event.
Oh yeah, like going up to Saratoga for the day is awesome. It's like you have to. If you live in New York and you haven't been to Saratoga for the day to see the races,
Yeah, right. You
that's-
have to.
You
Yeah,
have to. I mean, that's like a thing.
absolutely.
But there's a lot of things when you think about in New York that if you,
Oh,
you know,
the other thing is the Finger Lakes. What a beautiful area that is. You know, the wineries and the scenery. That's a great trip during the summer months also here. And
beautiful, like Lake Geneva and,
Right.
those lakes are
And Ithaca is gorgeous.
literally both ways. eh?
Well, I came
Two ways
from
of spelling
from Ithaca. I lived there for a few years.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, it was beautiful.
It's stunning. It's
Cooperstown?
absolutely stunning.
Cooperstown's, yeah,
Right?
gorgeous.
Yeah, the Baseball Hall of Fame for the whole country.
Yeah, New York has got some good stuff, but
Niagara
good place.
Falls.
yeah, Niagara Falls is impressive.
It's
It
pretty
is.
amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing state if you think about it, and just that stunningly pristine forest that we have up in along the Canada
Yeah.
border.
I
Just
think like
pristine.
I've thought about this before. Like New York and California probably have the two most varied topographies, or
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
California a little bit more extreme
Because
you
it
know,
goes a
a
whole.
little more desert.
Yes.
We wouldn't really have desert here, but when you compare like L.A. to San Francisco to Lake Tahoe, they got the Sierras, beautiful mountains. They got beautiful beaches, fishing, ocean fronts, agriculture lands. Similar to New York. We got Montauk. Montauk, Long Island is gorgeous.
Absolutely. Yes.
Long
Then you have
Island
Lake
Sound.
Placid.
Oh, there's
you have-
nothing like Montauk in the whole world.
Oh.
It's just
Yeah,
just
yeah,
what
and
it
then
is.
you got the
It's
high
amazing.
peaks of the Adirondacks, the breadbasket of the Hudson Valley, Western New York, the apples and grapes and Finger Lake vineyards, Napa vineyards, and
Yeah.
compared.
Come
to,
on, Rick, call in.
I'm not dissing Ohio or anything, but Ohio's
No.
got Ohio. Florida's
York-
got hot and hotter.
Are you
and
hearing this, Rick?
swampier to
We need your help.
flatter. Sure, I'm not.
It's just
It's
insulting
just
of the
stating
state.
facts.
It's stunning, and
You're
it
just
comes
stating facts.
and it comes off of our memories and experiences and things like that, just like water. It's just we know it.
Yeah.
We know it like the back of our hand.
Yeah.
How amazing this area is.
Yeah.
I mean, just our Hudson Valley is stunning.
Absolutely.
Even before you go to the west, over by Buffalo
I think
or Hamburg.
when you're away, right, and you come home and you come to the thruway, and just past Newburgh before New Paltz, you come up, or it's a rise you come up, and it's like the first time you can see like the
Oh,
Catskill
yes.
escarpment.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
It's like, and then the road sort of bends to the right a little bit.
You
and
know
it
you're
dips.
almost home.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like, that's, now, here we go.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, that's like a neat moment. It's like, this is your reminder that you're home. Back
Yeah,
in,
back in the Hudson Valley, back.
Catskill region, so.
Yep,
Yeah.
and luckily, we have a huge component of the population. I would say the majority of the population that is keeping it preserved.
Yeah, trying to.
Absolutely.
It's a small town.
Yeah. No, that's
And
for
open
sure.
space. I've said it before, man. The agriculture around this area is such a big part of the key to our quality of life.
Yes.
Open space, fresh air, looks good. Food, food stability or, market, whatever.
Farm to table.
And, it's sort of, I don't want to say stymies development because, I'm not a development foe, but it does to a degree, keep it, yeah.
Yeah. No, well, you need a little bit of a balance of both. And I think, it's sometimes, trying to do that is difficult. But, and how about like in the fall with the apple orchards? And it's just amazing. And you go and you take it, sometimes you take it for granted too, right? You pick the apples or, what other seasons? The strawberries, the blueberries. And it's just
like pumpkin patches. And
right, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, everything throughout the growing season. You have something all the time.
Yeah.
Even with flowers and floral things. There's something new every week of the year. 1.5% of the entire country. 1.5% of the entire country is actually lived upon.
Say that again, Dan?
It's actually residential. It's actually
Really?
lived upon.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
pretty
there's
close.
a lot of room in this country.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah, you
it's
go out west
concentrated-
sometimes.
It's concentrated in a couple bands, around the coast,
Yeah.
up some river, the Great Lakes area, and then the rest of it's wide open.
Go out the
But
Midwest.
it's been to Montana, Wyoming,
Right.
Dakotas, Idaho, Arizona. You were just
Nebraska.
in Arizona.
I was in
There's a
Arizona.
lot of the cities are, 15 minutes outside of Scottsdale. It's like,
Yeah.
you can dig a hole and bury something. Ain't nobody ever going to find it.
That's the truth. That is the
Crazy.
truth, yeah.
Vegas, 15 minutes outside of
Like
Vegas.
nothing, right?
Whew, nothing. Aspen.
Yeah.
I mean, just think of all the places, whatever.
Right, we live in a
Fargo,
very densely
North Dakota,
populated.
5 minutes outside of Fargo. There's nothing out there. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and even if you go to the western part of the state, in New York State, right?
Oh,
you see
yeah.
farmland for miles and miles.
Route 17,
Yeah.
silos. I
Right.
remember as a kid driving out. My mom grew up in Western New York, and we lived here. 17, the concrete.
Yeah. Yeah, the break in
for 6 hours on Route 17. Then you get to Horseheads, and there'd be like a traffic light. And
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Corning, it's like this highway, and all of a sudden, like in the middle of a city on a stoplight. It was weird.
Same thing if you go up 28, like towards Binghamton and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Same type of thing. Yeah, it's just miles and miles of,
Yeah, even close. Yeah,
right?
yeah. You get between, between Bel Air and Delhi.
Not too much there, right?
Yeah, it's the same.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of pine trees up there. That's for sure.
There is, absolutely. So, we live in a beautiful area, and we have a little bit of everything from New York City to farmlands to the Finger Lakes, Lake Placid. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful state.
Yeah, the Olympics are coming. Hopefully, my niece, not my niece, my cousin's daughter, my second cousin, right?
Okay.
My cricket book, Christine Bush, her husband, Bacon. Bella Bacon is her name, no relation to Kevin Bacon. She is like a freestyle skiing phenomenon. The jumps, and the flips
really?
and everything. And a week or so ago, she was at the qualifiers for the
Olympics?
U.S. freestyle team.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm not sure what. I got to ask my mom if she's heard anything. But yeah, Bella Bacon.
Bella Bacon.
And if she doesn't make it, she'll be at the next ones because she's only like 16. She's a kid.
She has many years.
Yeah,
for the Olympics. Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, I imagine when you do that kind of stuff on skis, you have a long career because knee injuries are extremely prone, and you get too old. I don't know how many old people want to be flipping through the air and on skis and stuff like
When
that.
I was up in Lake Placid, they had the chute from the Olympics, right? It's still there.
Yeah, oh yeah,
And
the
you
90-meter jump.
Yeah. You look at that chute and you say to yourself, oh my God. You see it on TV, it's a whole different perception as it is in
huge.
person. And to think that they're
Yeah.
coming off of that,
Yeah.
it's just phenomenal to me.
My friend Scott Maines and I were up there for the Olympics.
Were you?
Yeah.
At Lake Placid.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, good for
His
you.
mom Carol was friends with a gentleman that actually I believe he ran a fishery, like the Tupper Lake fishery. So he worked for like the state forest service.
Right.
So he was like, he was relocated, help out with the games, and he got tickets, and yeah, we saw Eric Hyden win a couple gold medals, the speed skater. We were outside watching Eric Hyden win a medal when inside the ice rink up on the hill. because the speed skating was the Louisville was outdoors. America won the Czechoslovakia checked the Czechs to the bronze. They secured the bronze medal, whatever, to move on.
Right.
Yeah, cool story.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Got to go to break.
Okay, thank you, Nina Postapak and Cameron Rylance. You're with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM, WGHQ, and our live streaming on mykcr.org. And it's 26 degrees right now on this Tuesday, January 18th, and we'll be right back after these messages.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes,
their age,
the way they speak.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed. Support causes that matter. Change lives. Change communities. Change the world. Visit lionsclubs.org to learn more.
What grows in the forest? Our imagination and our family bonds. The forest is closer than you think. Find a forest near you at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council. Look through your children's eyes, and you will discover the true magic of a forest.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Scott Harrington from Hurley, and I support Kingston Community Radio because the people need a place to have their voice heard, and it's lost in corporate radio, so please keep listening and supporting our station.
And good morning. You're listening to Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM. It's Tuesday, January 18th. And it's about 26 degrees right now here in uptown Kingston. And the high for today is about 28 degrees. We're going to have a bit of snow showers this morning and peaks of sunshine later, but high of 28. And partly cloudy skies early tonight. Will give way to cloudy skies later with a low of 12 degrees. And Wednesday, 40 degrees is our high. And more clouds than sun, but we're going to have some sun too. And Wednesday night, cloudy, a few flurries or snow showers possible with a low of 27 degrees. And Thursday is going to be a high of 30. Cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy in the afternoon with some sun. A few flurries or snow showers possible here and there. And we've got a 20% chance of those snow showers. Bitterly cold Thursday night with partly cloudy, low of 2 degrees. And this upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. 1099 Morton Boulevard in Kingston is their main office. And without further ado, let's get back to the on-air studio with Nina Postapak, Cameron Rylance, and our new surprise guest.
All right, we are back.
We are.
Steve Noble, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome.
It's great to be back with everybody.
It is. Happy New Year. This is the first time we've seen you in this new year.
Yes, we're excited about the new year. We're hopefully getting over this latest surge of the virus.
Knock on wood.
Yes.
We see you a little bit.
But we will, just trying to keep everybody healthy as best we can.
Yes.
And
keep the hospitals empty. That's what the goal is.
And we said everything worked really well. Cameron was our barometer for the snow because he's on Fair Street.
Yes, it seemed to work.
Yes, I have to say our men and women of DPW did a great job getting out there. It was a holiday weekend, and so getting people to come in. And, we got a lot of folks to
the alerts, the Facebook announcement.
Try to get people notified.
Instant messaging app,
A lot of new trucks, Steve, I think, right?
Yeah,
a lot of new trucks.
We've got a lot of new trucks. We've been upgrading our fleet over the last couple of years, and so that has really helped. And when we have the people park on where they're supposed to, we're able to use the bigger trucks, and we're able to clear the whole street really, really well. And so this snowstorm worked well. I mean, I think we got just under 6 inches, give or take.
Yeah,
so
surprising.
It snowed hard in the middle of the night.
And it stayed colder a little longer,
yes.
Which I guess helped.
Yeah, I saw in the paper, which I thought was, I didn't realize the difference, but in Accord, they got like a foot of snow, and we got half of that,
and
6
got
inches.
Like 2 inches in Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
Clinton area.
So it's amazing how that happens. But yeah, I thought it worked great.
Yeah, and we're actually so we're doing a new snow emergency route plan, and so for folks who live on a snow emergency route, they're being marked with new signage. We actually people should get it in their mailbox this week. A brand new flyer that kind of talks about all of our snow emergency rules. But what we wanted to do is be able to make sure that we keep all of our main thoroughfares open, and so we're not allowing any parking any longer on the snow emergency routes. And we think that that's going to also help a lot of the neighborhoods because it's going to be more efficient for our staff to be able to clear the big routes, and then they're going to be able to get into our neighborhoods quicker.
Yeah.
And so, I think a part of that happened this weekend. We had really good compliance on the snow emergency routes so far. And so I think that also helped. But again, hopefully the mailer that everyone gets will really let you put it on your fridge. It's both English and Spanish, and it kind of goes over all of our snow emergency rules. It talks about how to sign up for our Swift 911 in case you don't have it. And so if you didn't get a text message or a phone call to your cell phone, you can sign up on our website. And it's really simple, and you can then be notified whenever we have not only a snowstorm, but we've also used it in other cases. The water department also uses it in case they have a boil water advisory.
Yeah,
right.
public safety. Yeah, absolutely.
It's very helpful.
Was Broadway a tricky thing to clear?
Yeah,
the new system, the new laning system for Broadway, was that a little bit hard to clear?
Thankfully Broadway is one of our snow emergency routes, and so we were able to go ahead and make sure that that there's no parking on Broadway any longer, and so we're able to go in there and just clear right to the curb to curb.
Yeah,
that's great.
That really does help, but we do that along the entire length of Broadway all the way down to the waterfront.
I think you did a great job in communicating too what the snow emergency rules and regs were, because sometimes I think communication is like 90% of the battle. If people know what to do, most people will comply. I mean, you always have that 10% that won't. So I think the phone calls, I know I received the phone calls. Did you get the phone calls?
Yep.
Yeah, and I think you did a really great job of communicating to people, text messages.
And if you lived here a long time, you've sort of hopefully have gotten used to this every winter. If
Right.
hey, it snows, this
Yeah.
is what to do. But,
Yeah.
as we know, people come and go. And, we want to be able to just make sure everyone is educated. Then sometimes some people you just make mistakes. And that's why if you got a snow emergency parking ticket and you really, didn't understand, didn't mean to park in the wrong way, there's an appeal process that people can appeal. We heard from one person who really did try to use the system, but they kept parking their car on the wrong side of the street. And they ended up, I think, getting 3 tickets over the course of the storm. And so that's what our appeals process is.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
don't want to hurt people.
Right, we're trying to comply.
Trying
and,
to do the right thing. And so maybe they'll end up only having the 1 ticket.
But it
instead
comes
of
down
3.
to, if you're in your neighborhood, but when it happens, when it works, I think some of my neighbors had the aha moment because there was such cooperation. Everyone came out and was like, these dug their cars out. The other side of the street was perfect, up to the curb, and everyone parked. Then half hour later, the other side of the street was like, everyone was like, oh my gosh, it works. Yeah. And it was the first time in umpteen years that there wasn't one car on either side, so you had the labyrinth that you normally get uptown. So it was great. Yeah.
So, let's talk about the Kingstonian. I have to say a shout out to yourself for really dispelling some of the misinformation that was out there and really clarifying for people what the situation was for the city of Kingston. So maybe you can just talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
In the public hearing.
I think one of the things that we saw was that there was just so much misinformation. We saw some of the advertisements in the local paper that really were just not factual at all. That really just brought up everything from, the fire protection to, selling the road. All of those things aren't true.
Yes.
Right.
We're not selling the road. It's going to continue to be a city road. It's just going to be closed to through traffic. We're actually going to now, have a public plaza.
Level. Not going to be a hill anymore.
Right.
It's going to be level.
And then, and so I think that what we've really tried to do is just kind of dispel some of those myths about the Kingstonian projects. People think that, there's going to be this huge tax, giveaway to the developers. And what, just to remind people that the $26 million that keeps getting used is the cost to build this new 277 car parking garage as well as all of the other public amenities. So that's going to be, and they're going to pay for that so that we as taxpayers don't have to pay for that. And then they're going to maintain it for the life of the garage. And so after 25 years of having this payment go to pay the garage off, after that, the Kingstonian's going to pay full taxes, and then we're still, as the public, going to reap the benefits for the next 80 years after that.
Right.
And it's not as if they're paying no taxes. They're paying millions of taxes in the interim.
Yeah.
More than what the city-owned lot generates.
Right.
From day one, there's going to be millions more in the coffers. Yeah. And I think that fact is overlooked by a lot of naysayers or whatever. So.
And so our goal is to just be able to provide, accurate, factual information. And, we want to be able to get, this project has got a few more reviews. One of the things that it's undergone now with the Historic Landmarks Preservation Commission is kind of the final touches of what the look and feel will be like. And working with the new architect that was brought on, Scott Dutton, they've really been able to refine the designs, both for to reduce the height. It was going to be 4 stories. Now it's going to be 3 stories. They're going to create walk-ups on Schwenk Drive so that it feels more kind of neighborhood based on that side of the building, and really to be able to also make sure that the look and feel of the texture meets the look and feel of Uptown. And again, as we know, even the look and feel of the current texture of Uptown is
complete.
And some of it's just vinyl siding.
Yeah.
And so we're really trying to meet what we would love the rest of Uptown to look like. It's not there yet, and we know that we have some property owners that really do need to make investments in their decrepit or vacant buildings that exist.
Absolutely.
And that's just that takes time, and hopefully folks will put some more of their energy into that. And again, that's all we ask is just for everyone to kind of roll up their sleeves and try to make positive investments in our community. And I hope that when we're done with this process and we're able to put a shovel in the ground and we're able to build some additional housing units for both kind of market rate and working type affordable housing, that we're able to be able to continue to make investments in Uptown and in the rest of the city positively.
So speaking of housing, the tiny house initiative I think is wonderful. Personally, the current system doesn't work, so we need to try something else. Let's try something else. I saw last week that has started to move forward a little bit. Any word on that?
Yeah, so we were able to identify 2 city-owned lots in Midtown Kingston, close to services and accessible to public transportation and all of the other amenities that we have here in the city. And so 81 Cedar Street and 78 Franklin Street.
They're lots?
They're lots. They're currently lots. They both had single-family homes on them at one point.
I know on Franklin Street. Yeah, that's right around the house in my corner.
Yeah,
corner from my house.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so they're small lots. It would be hard pressed to build a full single family home on those lots with today's kind of building standards. And so by putting a couple of tiny homes on each of the lots, we would be able to, create this transitional housing. And working with Family Woodstock, we really feel confident that, they will, one, take care of the property really well, as they do with all of their other properties, and 2,
great track record.
Be able to make sure that they're providing the wraparound support services. Really,
That's the key.
The goal of this is to be able to make sure that when we have families, in particular, single head of household with children, to be able to have this transitional place to stay while they kind of get resettled, either after an abusive relationship or a loss of a housing situation or a loss of a job, they would be able to kind of get back on their feet and not have to live in a motel. Yeah. And I think that's
because
really
when
what
there's children involved. That is
so sad. Yeah.
The school attendance crashes when kids live in hotels. It's unbelievable. Transitional housing is the best way to do it.
So
it's cheaper in the long run.
Right. And so family expects folks to live in these for about 2 to 3 years. That's the max that one family they believe would live in something like this, just to be able to transition them out into more permanent housing. But I think as designed, there will be 2-bedroom units and really be able to, our goal is to get them installed this year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, and 2 bedrooms. That's a good size.
Push push the panache, push the glistening and the shiny aspect of a stylish tiny house. That's a very, very cool progressive idea.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
not just transitional. It's cool to be there.
Yeah, low end. Yeah,
and that is a very important aspect of
reasons,
it. Yes,
And that really sets the stage for the city to be able to have more of what's been debated more recently, accessory dwelling units, right? And I think that these tiny homes, basically 600 square feet or smaller, really can play a role in being able to help house our parents, house our younger, our college age kids that never left.
Unfortunately, it's probably it's more work for the departments, whatever. But in a case by case, it'd be accessory dwelling. To me, it'd be very hard to have a blanket rule. Unfortunately, it'd have to be a case by case issue as it. But with all the carriage houses and detached garages and other structures in and around Kingston, there's probably room for hundreds of accessory dwellings. And for exactly like you said, mother-in-law, in-laws, elderly parents moving in, consolidating. If they're safe buildings that have been sitting there for 50 years already and they're plumbed and they're electrified, why not allow them to be habitable? More work for inspectors and everything, but moving forward,
Yeah, and I think our new zoning code rewrite is going to really propose to be able to kind of create some of those standards so that it's easier for people to go through that process so that there aren't as many hurdles to jump through to be able to do that. It should be really easy if you have an attached garage or an attached unit already to be able to convert that to living space. There are definitely stipulations when it comes to putting a brand new house in your backyard.
Right,
And so we want to just make sure that the rules and regulations are all set for that.
Dan says we have a caller.
Okay.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen, and Nina.
Good morning.
So the property there that belongs to the city or used to, that is the parking lot, is that being given to the developer or is that being sold to the developer?
The 21 North Front Street, as was, transferred from both the Common Council to the KLDC and then from the KLDC to the Kingstonian, that has actually not been sold. What it has been created in return for them developing this project and doing the work that they need to do. That is kind of the exchange of goods, and so they have to be able to build that public parking garage, maintain that public parking garage for the life of the project, build the public park, build the walkway across the street, build and maintain the public restrooms. And so we put a dollar value on that, which was over $30 million. And so the cost of the land is then factored into that. And so while there wasn't cash transferred, the cash over time is really a much larger dollar value than the actual value of the land. And so we had to have the land appraised and all of that. And so that was all factored into the transfer.
Mm-hmm. Now, the closure or the whatever you did with the Fair Street extension, now, I don't understand what's going on there. So you can't get from North Front Street down to Schwank Drive anymore once that happens? Once they build that?
You won't be able to drive, correct.
Right. And for what part are we keeping? The bottom half or something?
Yep. So as you turn off of Schwank Drive, you'll be driving into and basically starting up the hill, and then the parking garage will be on your left and right side. And so you would then turn into the public parking garage.
Okay. The only thing that would be for is like an entrance to the parking garage then.
Correct.
Yeah. Once that parking garage is built, for the people to come in and park, is there going to be a fee?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Just as there is now to park in the lot.
Right.
Feed the meter.
Yep.
Do you know if the Kingstonian went in front of the Zoning Board of Appeals because they didn't have enough parking for what their building was required?
They've gone in front of a variety of boards, including the zoning board, to have an initial zoning determination. I'm not sure what other, kind of administrative, tasks they have left on their list, but almost all, because our zoning code is outdated, when we build we're building, as part of the garage, we're building a 420-car parking lot. 277 of those spots will be reserved for the public. The other, what's the math on that? 200, right?
Something around 30 something.
Or 180. Yeah. So there's basically enough for all 143 housing units to have at least one spot reserved, and then a few extras for, additional parking. And so that's a way.
You get 143.
Yes, you get 143, right. And so that's enough to be able to make sure that there's at least one reserve for each. As part of the project, we're also making Kingston Plaza parking available for free to the public to be able to use after and as part of the development, because it's all going to be one development. So basically, if you're have guests over and you need more parking for your apartment or you have visitors, they'll be able to park in the Kingston Plaza parking lot and take the walkway across.
Currently, that's private property. There's no overnight parking. It's.
And so that's I think a real benefit, and I think that's one of the things that when we build in Uptown Kingston, as you know, almost all of the buildings don't have any private parking. And so every single development or building uptown has had to come to the city for a waiver to use our municipal parking lots for theirs. And this is one of the projects where they're actually building a lot of parking, which is great.
Yes.
And so we're, but our zoning code is also really outdated because we generally, in some parts of our code, require 2 cars per bedroom or something crazy like that. And in today's day and age, most people don't have the amount of vehicles, especially when you are moving into a walkable, drivable neighborhood, that allows people to downsize and only have one vehicle or no vehicles at all. And I think that that's a big part of this, is that you can basically walk to the grocery store, you can walk to the doctors, you can walk to all of the stores, you can really be able to you don't really need a vehicle when you're living in uptown Kingston. And so that's the hope, and that's really what we're kind of trying to design all of our new developments. I think as part of the new form-based code we're looking at is getting rid of parking requirements altogether. Many cities have gotten rid of their parking requirements because it's just we want to be able to just let the market demand whether development builds parking or not, and it will.
Well, a lot less car. I mean, the 4 newest people that bought homes on Fair Street on my block, 3 of them are couples with kids that have 1 car, and 1 couple don't have a car.
Yeah.
So, and that's the trend. Particularly seniors don't drive,
Couples.
and I've. In talking with people, I'm sorry, caller. Are you finished, caller? I don't want to just keep you on the air.
No, no, I'm not.
Okay.
How many? There's going to be regular housing there, right? For lack of a better term on my part.
Apartments, yeah.
Yeah. Are they all 1 bedrooms, or is there going to be a couple of 2, 3 bedroom apartments?
Big mix.
Yeah, there'll be a mix.
Studio 1, 2.
Yep.
The reason I ask is because when there was the big brouhaha about the school board not approving the tax credits, I called the head of the IDA, and she told me that they weren't going to have any children in the apartment, so it wasn't going to affect the school district.
Yeah, I mean, generally, the proposals generally have seen that with this type of housing, there are not a large amount of school-age children. This is generally designed for kind of the millennials, retirees. Those are the 2 areas that they're looking. And as someone who has a child in the Kingston City School District, what we've seen is that there's actually been a lack of enrollment in the school district, and we actually have
declining enrollment,
and our state aid is based on actually having kids in the district. And so if we continue to lose kids also, we will continue as taxpayers to pay a whole lot more than we're paying even now. And so I do think that is a struggle, but I don't believe that this type of housing is really going to have a lot, if any, children in it. But we'll see. I mean, again, I think if it does have a few, I think that's a benefit to the school district, so that we continue to kind of get the state aid.
We don't want to close any more elementary schools.
Yeah, but we might get some benefits from the state, but it costs us more to get that benefit. But I think it should be made a condition, and I'll finish. I got one other statement after this. It should be made a condition that in order to continue with the tax breaks for the school district, that the moment a child comes in and is enrolled in the school district, that benefit disappears. That's my opinion. We can argue that some other day. And just one factor on my part, a different opinion is not necessarily always misinformation. Okay? When I'm talking about the opinion Chief Ray had, contrary to the other retired firemen that made that opinion that it would be unsafe.
Well,
that's not misinformation. That, to
no,
me,
there's
it's a different
it was
opinion, right?
No, it was factually wrong. It was definitely misinformation. There's no question about that.
Paid for too.
Yeah, I mean that consultant never reached out to the Kingston Fire Department, never reached out to the city for any information, and they're turning Fair Street Extension into a pedestrian-only walkway is not going to reduce response times of the Kingston Fire Department to any building, in Uptown Kingston. And so I'm just letting you know that that is. Anything that was stated contrary to that is factually untrue. So
okay,
cool. All right. Well, caller, thanks for your input.
Time.
Thanks for
Yeah,
listening.
thank you so
You're
much
welcome.
for calling in. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yep. Bye.
Bye now.
Well, I'm glad we got some information.
Yeah, we did.
out there.
I think that's good to clear up some of the.
Yeah, but so your State of the Union was last week, or State of the City, right?
It was.
That went well.
Yeah, there's lots. As I said to folks, we are we've gone through a lot of building over the last couple of years, and so we are going to be building some more in 2022, and so we definitely are asking for patience as we. Continue. We're starting on Henry Street. Already started on Henry Street. So if you've tried to drive down Henry Street, you'll see we're doing a big sewer project right in the middle of it, right near Furnace.
I thought that was gas. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're doing a big sewer repair. If you've ever gone right by that beautifully new restored home right at the corner of Furnace.
Cool. The color scheme is
fantastic. You've always would hit a huge hole there, and that's because we had a big sewer break there that we needed to fix, and so that is now being fixed so that when we move forward with our Henry Street project this year, we're going to be able to not only repair all of the sidewalks on Henry Street, but we're also going to be able to repave the road, which is really important. Yep. And so we're going to go from Broadway all the way to the school. And we're excited about, all of our other projects. The Elmendorf Street Bridge is going to get wrapped up, finish some of the punch list items on Broadway and the Grand Street intersection. Need the signals for Grand Street to come in, and so we can get that done.
The walkway,
Midtown Linear,
Linear Park.
Midtown Linear Park will be done. It's paved now, and they just need to finish a couple of stairways to connect people to it. But it's been already used.
That's cool. That's great.
So we're excited about that, and there's just going to be lots of other infrastructure projects all around. Wilbur Avenue is going to get paved from top to bottom, I believe. So that's also really going to be a big project for us next year or this year.
Yeah, especially with all the sewers.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the manholes.
Yeah. And we're going to just continue to do some major sewer repair work, in and around the city. And so,
something that's gone completely under the radar, which is pretty exciting, is that on Pine Street, the medical building going in there, they tore down one of those old condo-looking things. Yeah. And according to the picture, they're building a pretty neat-looking building. But it's going to be a total walk-in healthcare center.
Right.
Through the state.
Yeah, through the Institute for Family Health. They're going to be basically opening a Midtown center, which is to kind of in addition to what they have out on Route 32 by Gateway. And so it's going to be such a great care facility for folks who are,
it's going to be wonderful.
That need access to healthcare, and it's going to be walkable right in Midtown. And it's again those medical condos needed some upgrades. I think they initially wanted to save the building, but once they got in there and looked around,
I'm sure the fire code wouldn't
it didn't
even
meet standards. The exam rooms weren't the right size. The ventilation wasn't good.
And all wooden framing, probably. Yes.
So. But that's a really big project happening also.
Like
you said, under the radar.
Quietly under the radar. It's not obtrusive. It's not, it's great. Yeah. And I live there. It's my block. I can see it from my attic. So.
Right.
Mayor Noble, how's the project with, I see, I live in they're on out. So I see the Wart Street Bridge being worked on now.
Another year.
Yeah, so they're working full steam ahead,
Yeah.
but they will be in construction through October of 2023, and so they plan to open in October of 2023.
Oh, so another
Wow.
year. Oh, yeah.
That's
so
incredible.
it's a major
Yeah.
overhaul. Every steel cable is being replaced. All of the membranes, the sidewalk structures, the decking. So it's going to be a big project.
Yeah,
Brand
that
new
is
old
huge.
bridge when it's
It's
done.
what $45 million plus will buy you.
Yeah. Ouch. When you think of that.
Yeah. It's our entire city budget.
Yeah.
You can
On that
build
one bridge.
a big,
Yeah.
big old skyscraper for $10 million. Now we just fix a little bridge. Crazy.
But it's okay. It's a historic treasure. So
That's right. That's right.
Cool. All right,
Absolutely.
Mr. Mayor, thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
it's always a
Appreciate
pleasure.
your
Yes,
time.
thank you.
Enjoy and
Yes.
have a good month.
Yes,
talk
and
to
we'll see you next month.
Thanks. Yep.
Thank you.
All right, Dan, take us away.
Thank you, Mayor Steve Noble. Thank you very, very, very much. And you're with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM with Nina Poshtapak and Cameron Rylance. 26 degrees right now here in Uptown Kingston on this Tuesday, January 18th. This last portion of Kingston Community Radio has been brought to you by Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. 1099 Morton Boulevard in Kingston is their main office. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, this is Tony Marmo from Norman Staffing, and we've been bringing together employers and job seekers since 1980. If you're an employer and have job vacancies, let Norman Staffing help fill them with permanent or temporary workers. We screen, interview, and recommend the best candidates for your company. We make the employment process easier and faster for you. Please call Norman Staffing for your employment needs at 338-9111, 338-9111, or normanstaffing.com.
Don't. Just don't. If you see a low-hanging or downed wire, don't touch it. Don't move it. Don't go near it. Don't drive over it. It may be a power line carrying an electric current strong enough to kill. But here's what to do. Stay at least 30 feet away and call 911. Central Hudson will take care of the problem. If you come close to a wire, shuffle away with small steps and watch your step. Wires may be hidden in fallen tree limbs or near water. Your safety matters.
Hi, my name's Maggie. I'm from Copiague, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
Thank you for being with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM. You're listening to WGHQ, Kingston Community Radio. It's Tuesday, January 18th, 26 degrees here in Uptown Kingston, and we only get 28 degrees here this morning, all day actually. The high today is 28 degrees. Some snow showers this morning possibly, and peaks of sunshine later. Tonight, a low of 12 degrees and partly cloudy skies. Wednesday, 40 degrees is our high and more clouds than sun. But we're going to get a little bit of sun tomorrow with a high around 40. And Wednesday night, cloudy, a few flurries or snow showers possible, about a 25% chance of that, with a low of 27. And Thursday, cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy in the afternoon, a few flurries or snow showers possible, about a 20% chance of that. And a morning high of 30 degrees with temperatures falling during the day on Thursday to near 20. And then we get a real fall of temperature down to 2 degrees on Thursday night. This upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Robert Baum Commercial Realty, located at 79 St. James Street, Kingston, New York. Visit rgbaum.com for more information. Let's get back to the on-air studio with Nina Poshtapak, Cameron Rylance, and our new guest.
All right, we are here with Bill Forte.
Yes.
Representing or give us some information about the veteran stuff. But first, we have our Boyce Brothers Dairy Milkhouse Cow Pie birthday giveaway. So we got 2 of them this morning. So since I'm still trying to sound out this last one or read it, Lena, why don't you go first?
Okay, so I'm going to wish Stephanie Petit a happy birthday on January 18th, which is today. Have a wonderful day. love your family and friends. So happy birthday to Stephanie.
And I want to wish a very happy birthday to, and I'm sorry, I can't quite read this handwriting.
You can
but I'm
just
gonna
spell
guess.
it. Yeah.
I can't do that either. Happy birthday to Molly Browd. Love your family and many friends. Enjoy your special day. So, Molly, if you're listening today, I can't imagine that many Mollys are out there listening. Happy birthday, Molly. So,
Wait, before you announce the cow pie winner, I want to wish a very happy belated birthday to Bill. Bill's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, right, the
Yes,
17th. Yes, Bill, thank you.
had a big anniversary yesterday, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Happy birthday.
29th anniversary, my 39th birthday.
I love that. That's a good one to remember, right?
All right. So, anyway, so here we go.
Yep.
Whoa, wrong bell. Congratulations, Stephanie Pettit. You are the winner of a cow pie. So go see the fine folks down at 62 O'Neill Street at Boyce Brothers Dairy. Thank them for sponsoring our cow pie giveaway, and thank them for the delicious cow pie they're going to give you. So
Keep mailing them in.
Yep. Keep sending
Post
them in.
Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York, 12402.
Yes.
Keep mailing them in.
So we are here with Bill Forte. I can't believe it's been a month already since you were here. It goes so fast.
It does. It goes by so quick.
But,
and please remember to call and shout 331-9255. So if you have any questions in regard to what's going on in Ulster County with the veterans or any events that are happening, call in and Bill will be more than happy to answer your questions.
So you brought in a little flyer there.
Right.
So you're going to tell us a little bit. It says Washington, D.C. on the top there.
Well, last summer we had the Exchange Club of Rome, Georgia, came up to our VFW here in Kingston with a half-scale replica of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Yes.
And they had it on display for 3 days. They were fantastic. They had about an hour-long video that showed every aspect of the guard's life at the tomb, down below, preparing to go on duty. It dispelled a lot of these silly rumors that are online that they can never smoke again, they can never have alcohol.
Yeah, right.
But it was very informative. As people would come in, one of the people, the escorts with the replica, would greet them and take them through and explain everything and answer all their questions. They couldn't have been more accommodating.
Now, were these members of the Exchange Club? Were these
Yes.
ex-military folk, or veterans, or were they
A
associated?
couple of them were.
Oh, that's cool.
And I had read about it earlier last year, about this time last year, in the American Legion magazine. I had read about them in there, and it was a little difficult at first to contact them, but I tracked them down and found that they were going to be in our area during August. And it was just a small stop between stops. I mean, they had about 4 days, and we were able to get them here.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, timing worked.
I had been stationed in the Army twice in the Washington, D.C. area, and I have never been to Arlington National Cemetery. Last year, a very good friend of mine, a very good friend of the veterans community, passed away, and he was buried in Arlington.
Oh, that's quite an honor.
Due to COVID, we weren't allowed to go there. Was the Reverend Leroy Ness.
Okay, yep.
He served 28 years in the Army, Vietnam veteran. Wow. He was a full colonel. And beyond being a pastor of my church, he was a good personal friend and somebody, one of the most influential people I've ever met. And I really hope to get, when we go on this trip, to get there.
Get to see his site. That's wonderful.
That's great.
The American Legion in Kingston had arranged a trip to Washington, D.C. a few years back. Excuse me. And speaking with Charlie Manfro, who was instrumental in putting that together, we've arranged another one. And this one is going to be this summer, August 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's 3 days, 2 nights. It includes 2 nights lodging, 2 breakfasts, 2 full-course dinners, and it will be going to the Smithsonian Institute, a tram tour of Arlington Cemetery, where they'll stop and we'll be for a while at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. It'll be going to the World War II, Vietnam, Lincoln, Korean War veterans and FDR memorials, guided sightseeing tour of the U.S. Capitol and Visitor Center, Library of Congress, on and on. It includes quite a bit. The trip is open only to KVA members and their guests. And what we're getting at here is all of our veterans organizations are really hurting for people, as are other civic organizations. I mean, the Kiwanis, the Elks, they're all hurting for people.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we get people to sign up.
Yeah. And that's fantastic.
In
trip.
addition
I
to
mean,
this.
I've done a couple Washington trips with my family, and it's, the changing of the guard is so impressive. It's honorable and solemn, and
I've been all over Washington. I've been in the White House. My son's still assigned to the White House.
Oh, wow. Huh.
He had us on a tour, I guess about 5 or 6 years ago. We went all through, went through the Situation Room and all.
Wow.
That's a pretty impressive trip.
Yeah, it does cover a lot.
So reservations and all that, you got a phone number?
They can call me at 845-399-0414. The organizations that this is open to, American Legion Post 72 Kingston and American Legion Post 72 Saugerties, and Kingston American Legion Post 150, VFW Post 1386 Kingston, and VFW Post 5034 Saugerties, Ulster County Chapter 156 Disabled American Veterans, Ulster Detachment Marine Corps League, the 156 Field Artillery Veterans Association, the Island X9 Naval Seabees, and all their associated Sons of the Legions and auxiliaries. If you're a member, you can qualify. Now, we've reduced the price. The price was $419. We've reduced it for the first 54 people to $300 per person.
Oh, wow. That's
an unbelievable.
And if you're not a member, there's some incentive to join.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely leave that flyer so we can keep it in the
Announcing it, yeah.
the announcements envelope. So.
It's a trip we hope to. The weather we're hoping is going to be fine. That time of the year, we
August should be
tend to get a
beautiful.
little dry towards the end of July and into August. So
That's all right.
keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's hot there, it's hot here, so it doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
yeah, so no, definitely leave that.
Another item came up. We got the okay to go ahead with plans for the Memorial Day Parade in Kingston this
All
year.
right, good. Whoopee! Yeah.
Parade Chairman Chuck Polacco is working on that now. He's been in touch with the mayor. We get this Boy Scout band from Maybrook.
Okay.
They play excellent marching music and stuff.
Cool.
Already signed them up. We have a feeling we may have a little difficulty getting units to participate. There's still
Well, the Elks Lodge will be
a certain
there.
amount of hesitation because of COVID.
Yeah.
But I think we're on the downswing. I hope we are.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Yeah. Now the Kingston Elks Lodge will be there. So.
Yeah, but it'll be May 30th. Ceremony in front of City Hall starting at 1 o'clock, and the parade starting immediately after, approximately 1:30.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I have a nice little announcement, veterans-wise.
Okay.
Through the Elks Lodge, the Elks National Foundation, the Kingston Elks Lodge 550, we applied for a $3,500 grant. And it came up very quickly. We were just made eligible. We had to apply before January 17th, whatever. But so I'll preface this a little bit. So a couple, 3 weeks ago when we got notified we were eligible, he emailed Mark Cosapoli and said, Mark, we've met a few times, and Cameron from the Kingston Elks Lodge, we're eligible for this grant. What is the best way, $3,500 grant, up to $3,500. What is the best way, the best thing that we can make an impact for you and the UCVSA, Ulster County Veteran Service Administration? He said gift cards. We said I give out gift cards to veterans who have presented food insecurity or an immediate need. He said you would not believe, most of our veterans are aging on fixed incomes. Sure. Inflation, fuel costs, whatever. He's like, Cameron, there's no better way than I can help a veteran or their family right now on the spot than to hand them a gift card so they can, fill a meal. I'm choked up right now. It choked me up when I heard it. So we applied and we were granted full $3,500 to get $50 gift
fantastic.
cards. That one we should be getting a check the next couple of weeks. But here, first public announcement that I can't wait. I haven't even told Mark that we got it yet. But
Oh, fantastic.
very
That's
excited.
great.
It's a drop in the bucket, unfortunately, but it's a
Oh,
drop that
still.
wasn't here a day ago or a week ago.
Yes, like
I
we
think
said,
it was awesome. And
it creates a momentum
yeah.
for you.
And his immediate response was so touching that, I mean, he knew, like, I can help somebody right now. Here you go. And that just,
Mark has got his
So,
fingers
yeah.
on so many things. He feels the pulse of the veterans community.
He does.
nice guy.
Outstanding guy.
So I'm
Couldn't
happy
say enough
that
about him.
Kingston Oaks Lodge is doing our small part to help the veterans of Ulster County. So.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
So
very
that'll
exciting.
happen soon?
Yeah,
the
we
gift
just got
cards?
approved like Thursday, or the other day, a couple days ago, and Chicago will be mailing us a check shortly, and as soon as that happens, we will
Present it to Mark?
present it to him, yeah, so.
And he can get the gift cards. That's great. That's fantastic. So you work closely with the Ulster County Veterans Association, Bill?
We do whatever we can for them, and they've always been there for us.
Yep.
My father, as you may know, is on dialysis. And my father, as independent as he is, he was driving himself to dialysis up until, I guess, the early part of this year. He's 92 now. He stopped driving, and he was relying on myself, my sister, to drive him to dialysis 3 times a week, and he didn't like putting us out. I said,
Yeah,
Dad,
that's
come on, how much have you done for us over?
Yeah,
well,
yeah, that's
finally,
what it is.
the Ulster County Veterans Office was able to provide the van that will pick him up 3 days a week, take him there, and bring him back. And it's just been outstanding that they're able to do this for him.
Those are benefits that people don't realize that
Yeah.
are available through the county, such as that, like transportation to and from doctor's appointments. They have the van that goes up to, I believe, up to the Vets Hospital up in Albany.
yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
and is that twice a week, Bill, that goes up?
I don't know how many times a week it is.
I think it's
I
at
know
least twice a
occasionally they'll
week.
go down to Castle Point also.
Yes, right, exactly.
Even with the weather we had yesterday, the van was there to pick my father up. I went over,
Yeah.
got his walks done, and
Yeah, your
Ready to
medical
go.
treatment can't wait, and you got to go.
Let me give you the number of the Ulster County Veterans Service Office. It is 340-3195. So, and as Bill said, if you have any services that you are in need of and you're a veteran, if the county does not offer the services, Mark or his staff will definitely find
They know
the
where to direct.
resources
From
for
heating,
you.
from heating assistance to everything. Legal, yeah, they have access to lots of stuff, so.
Yes, and you can also get on his email list, and he's constantly sending out, like, here, we just received one yesterday, or 2 days ago, a link to the Department of Labor for programs pertaining to hiring of veterans, and tons of resources for veterans seeking employment. And there's all these links that he forwarded to his whole email list. So again, you can even call the Veterans Office and get on their email list if you are a veteran, because there's so many resources that he communicates twice a week. I would say that I usually get an email in regard to things that are going on in the community to help serve veterans. So great resource. And again, you could just reach out to the office, which is 340-3195, or go on the county website. There's quite a bit of information on the veterans website.
I might
also.
add, if you call the office and you can't get through to Mark, his staff is outstanding.
Yes.
Many of them have been there for years. Tim Keating, Frank
Tim's
Ruggiero.
wonderful. Frank.
That's two more, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Frank, and they all are. That's very true, Bill. Absolutely. And they're all there to help in any way that they can. So, which
Some of
is-
their unsung heroes they have are these people that drive the vans
Yes.
in all kinds of weather. And it means a lot to the veterans that can't get out on their own. Frequently, these drivers have got to go into the houses or into apartment buildings to assist them out into the van and bring them back.
Sure.
It's not, toot toot like a taxi would do. It's
running
nothing
out,
like that.
Yeah. No, that's true. They help in many ways. So, yeah, very important. So the banners are done up and...
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so that has to be a big relief for you at this point.
We did most of the banners that we've had from the beginning, the first time we did them. Most of them have been picked up.
Oh, that's
There's
great.
probably
Good.
still, there's probably 25, 30 of them down at the American Legion.
Oh, that's good, because a few months ago, there was like 100.
There were hundreds
a couple
of 'em.
hundred, yeah. I'm glad people are getting them.
We tried to call a lot of the people, but a lot of the phone numbers are not, they're no longer any good. So,
A lot of people gave up their landlines and just
Yeah,
use their cell
yeah.
phones now, so which makes it a little more difficult to get a hold of people.
Any winter activities coming up? Any fundraisers or socials?
No, we had our annual fundraiser was during the holidays out at Adams. It wasn't as good as past years, but again, COVID's had an effect on everything in our lives.
Were you still able to have as many people out there working, or was less
Yes.
shopper?
Yes, we were. Now that we've included the Saugerties American Legion and VFW within the Kingston Veterans Association, we were able to get assistance from them.
Oh, that's good.
Our new uniforms, we got hit with a left hook out of nowhere on that. Everything was figured out, exact cost of the uniforms and all. We start going down to West Point to get them. The uniforms come, the pants are not hemmed, and the jackets, the sleeves are not hemmed.
Oh.
If a military person, active duty, goes in there for a uniform, the cost of the uniform includes that. They told us because we weren't active military, we were retirees or veterans, that we had to pay for that. All of a sudden, our tailor, the cost for tailoring,
Yeah.
$100, $110 per uniform.
Yeah, I believe it.
Times 15 uniforms. And it's not right. You can't wear the uniform unless this is done.
Right.
Yeah.
And they should have built that price into the cost of the uniform if that was the
what doesn't
case.
seem right is that you're, veterans. You're
Well, the thing that grabbed me
$1
was
trillion budget for him the dang uniform.
we are getting these uniforms so that we can provide a service that the active military, and this is all branches, is either reluctant or not capable of providing when a veteran is laid to rest. Occasionally, the National Guard or maybe the Air Guard from Stewart, somebody will provide one or two people graveside. We provide a rifle squad, men to go up and fold the flag, present the flag to the family, a bugler, the whole show. We're doing this for them,
right,
as well as for the deceased and the deceased's family. And I just feel like they're giving us the shaft by charging us for this extra stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You are getting the shift.
Yeah.
I think who get our
Yeah.
our congressman on that. Serious.
I sent them a letter. I don't know what it'll do.
I mean, it's freaking West Point, for God's sake. I mean, that's
It's not West Point that's doing it. It's Department of Defense, Department of the Army. It's up that level.
Well, that's ridiculous.
West Point has to do what
they're told.
Yeah, true. But I'm just saying, you're in
Yeah.
the cradle of, military history, the
Yes.
Hudson Valley,
But even with that, we dipped it. The money that we had donated, or the people that donated, did so much for us. We could not have gotten the new uniforms without their help. And even with the added costs, we dipped into what we had and we covered it. So we have all our members have full uniforms now.
Good.
We ran into another COVID roadblock with them for a while. We couldn't get hats for a while.
I know, it's
I
terrible.
found secondary sources for these things. After we went and ordered them from Marlowe White Uniforms and other installations around the country, then West Point gets a full shipment and they got them all. But,
That's good. Yeah.
but we were told we wouldn't be able to get them till the spring.
Oh.
But we're up and running full uniforms now.
Great, that's fantastic. So you ended up with how many new uniforms?
15.
15 new uniforms. So, and the cost of each uniform was?
It started out $750 each.
That's crazy.
It wound up $850 to $900.
Yeah, that's like a designer suit.
Yeah, it's like a Cheruti suit, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so you raised $15,000, close to. That's beautiful. That's great. That's fantastic.
And that was due in large part to the efforts of Ward Todd and the Chamber of Commerce.
Ward
himself a veteran.
Yeah, you said that's artilleryman. You said, right?
156 Field Artillery.
Oh wow! Oh really? 156. Is that was originally stationed out of
National Guard Army on Kierstead Avenue in Kingston.
Yeah, the Armory. I was trying to think. So is that what brought Ward to this area, being stationed there?
Oh, I don't think so.
Or is that just a coincidence?
He was with the other radio station.
Oh, yeah, forever, yeah. But
forever.
Ward Todd,
Going way back.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Ward Todd.
I think he's been in this area most of his
No, but
life.
is that just a coincidence that he happens to be? Because I don't think he's a Kingston boy, is he? Maybe, I don't know, but
I think.
I know he lives up 28 somewhere.
Yeah.
But the local. But the coincidence that he was in the 156 Artillery, and that happened to be stationed here. He could be from anywhere. You know what I mean?
He could, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just interesting. I find that coincidental, I suppose.
So through his efforts, a lot of that money was raised.
I had worked with him once before. We did a surprise birthday
for Frank
for
Guido.
Frank Guido.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That was huge.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to get out of hand for a while. We had so many people there, but we had to put the word out by word of mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because
you advertise it, and it's going to get back to him.
Oh, everything.
His wife helped me tremendously in contacting family and all, and his son. But there were a lot of people. Oh, if I'd only known.
Yeah, well, sorry. You
I think we had over 175, pushing nearer to 200 people there, and that went great.
That's wonderful. Well, you'd like to thank the people that give to the veterans community. I mean, and
I
there's
like
so
to thank
many.
anybody that I feel is out there doing for the veterans.
Right, yeah, no, absolutely. That's for sure.
We've held dinners for the Korean War veterans, for the Cold War veterans. Other organizations had already done recognition dinners for World War II and Vietnam veterans, so we wanted to make sure we covered everybody. And we had full dinners out there for the veteran and a guest or spouse or whatever, and we even came up with commemorative medals.
That's cool.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, no, absolutely. Bill, I know we're getting towards the bottom of the half hour. If you can give all your contact information, I know people reached out to me after the show and asked how they can get in contact with you. If you could do that again, that would be great.
Sure. Probably the best way to get a hold of me is either by call my cell phone or text, and that's 845-399-0414. And evenings, I'm generally at home at 845-339-1486, and you can always call me up until midnight. I'm up after that too, but my wife.
God bless you.
My wife would get mad if the phone.
Yeah, don't ring that
You wake
phone
her
after
up. Just because you can't sleep, you don't got to wake her up.
Well, that's great. I have to say, again, that trip is amazing. So anybody who's interested in the trip, please reach out also to Bill at those numbers. And the dates for that was, what, August 5th through the 7th?
6th and 7th.
I tell you,
Yes.
those monuments at night are better than they are during the day. 'Cause
Yeah,
the
I bet they're
lighting and there's less
beautiful.
crowd.
And this includes a drive
Korean War
around at night.
monument, I think, is the most amazing.
Isn't it?
It's. I saw it was like a fog. There was like a little bit of fog, and it was night, and it was winter, so it was like no one was around. It was moving. It's
Amazing,
unbelievable. Got to go to see those at night, man.
Series of statues of the.
And it looked like they're walking out of rice combat
Out of the
zone.
woods or something.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It is so moving. Cool. So, Bill, keep up the good work. We got a couple minutes left, but you don't have. There's no any upcoming winter fundraisers or bingo nights or anything like that you guys do?
I don't have the exact date yet, but the end of March, we will be having a ceremony, hopefully in front of the County Vietnam Veterans Monument at the National Guard Army on Kierstead Avenue.
Okay.
Commemorating those that served in the Vietnam War. A couple of years ago, President Trump designated, I want to say March 29th. I'm not sure the exact date. It's
I think
near
you might
the
be
end.
right, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? As
Yes.
a Veterans
Yes.
Vietnam Remembrance Day, or what? Is it a holiday, or is it just a Remembrance Day? Or
It's not a holiday like
Not yet.
Veterans Day, Memorial Day.
It
or
will
anything
be,
like that. But we will be holding a ceremony of some sort. It may be a simple wreath laying. It kind of depends on the weather forecast then.
Yeah.
We've been out there where temperatures are in the teens, and it's kind of hard, especially if you get somebody long-winded up there.
Which, March 29th, you're all right with the date?
Yeah.
Yep, March 29th.
What day of the week is that?
I don't know what day of the week it is this year.
Convert to the calendar very quick. I don't know. That's okay.
So that date was chosen because it was the last U.S. combat troops departed Vietnam on that date, March 29th, 1973.
Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday. Okay.
We may do it the weekend prior.
Yeah.
Make it so more people can attend.
Yeah, so it's National Vietnam War Veterans Day. That's very interesting, March 29th. And it's based on when they left Vietnam, March 29th, 1973.
Let's come back to you. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right, Bill. Well, we're at the bottom of the hour, and thank you for your time. And
we won't see you next month. But
oh, yeah, you won't.
Yes, enjoy your trip.
Unless that
your
cruise gets canceled again.
Well, let's hope not.
I hope not.
You're, out sunning yourself somewhere.
Yep.
So. Cool. All right. Thank
thanks,
you.
Bill.
And let's go to break.
Thank you, Bill Forte, Kingston Veterans Association. Thank you so much for being with us today. And you're with us here with Nina Postapak and Cameron Rylance on a terrific Tuesday. And it's now at the bottom of the hour. It's 8:30 a.m. And you're with us at Kingston Community Radio, KCR, AM 920 and 92.5 FM, WGHQ. Tuesday, January 18th, 26 degrees right now here in Uptown Kingston. This morning's program brought to you by Robert Baum Commercial Realty, located at 79 St. James Street, Kingston, New York. Visit rgbaum.com for more information. rgbaum.com for more information about Robert Baum Realty. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, this is Tony Marmo from Norman Staffing, and we've been bringing together employers and job seekers since 1980. If you're an employer and have job vacancies, let Norman Staffing help fill them with permanent or temporary workers. We screen, interview, and recommend the best candidates for your company. We make the employment process easier and faster for you. Please call Norman Staffing for your employment needs at 338-9111, 338-9111, or normanstaffing.com.
The Home Energy Assistance Program, known as HEAP, can help make winter feel a little warmer for income-eligible families. This program provides financial grants to help pay heating or utility bills. If you receive HEAP benefits, you'll qualify for Central Hudson's Bill Discount Program. Find out if you are eligible for HEAP by contacting your County Department of Social Services or by visiting the Assistance Programs section of centralhudson.com.
Hi, my name's Maggie. I'm from Copic, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
And we're back. You're listening to KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. Tuesday, January 18th, 26 degrees right now here in Uptown Kingston. And this upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Rondout Savings Bank. Always working for you and our community with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park. Also online at rondoutbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. And one more time, a little bit about the weather for the next 3 days. Maybe some snow showers this morning, about a 50% chance of that. Peaks of sunshine later today with a high of 28. Partly cloudy skies early, giving way to cloudy skies late tonight. And tonight's low is 12 degrees. Wednesday, our high is 40 degrees with more clouds than sun, but we'll have some sun too. And Wednesday night, cloudy with a few flurries or snow showers possible, about a 25% chance of that, with a low of 27. And Thursday, a high of 30 degrees. Cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy in the afternoon, and a morning high of 30 degrees with temperatures falling to near 20 degrees throughout the day. And we get a single-digit number for Thursday night, bitterly cold at 2 degrees. So bundle up. You're with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM. Let's get you back to the on-air studio with Nina Poshapak, Cameron Rylance, and Christine Hine.
And we're back, the home stretch.
We are.
That's right. Well, Christine, good morning.
Hi.
Well, exactly
Welcome.
1 week ago, you were my co-host.
I know. That was a lot of fun, and
couldn't really talk about your stuff because
it's okay.
we had
It wasn't about my stuff.
Now
we're talking about your stuff.
Christine,
you're here for
your stuff includes a very, very complimentary, like matchup with your mask and your
I know, right?
and your sweater,
Yes.
right?
Very elky. You look very elky.
I am very elky. I am an elk, so
I know.
that's
It's
good.
we're brand new colors.
With COVID, I'm not exactly a very active elk, but
That's all
I am
right.
an
You're
elk in
still
my
there.
heart.
You're
So
still there, and you're sporting the colors.
And I'm sporting
Team
the colors. There you go. If for
That's
anybody
cool.
who doesn't know, the elk's colors are purple. So I have purple on today.
Yes.
For those in Radio Land that aren't watching us.
That's right, with a mask that
on the web-
matches,
with
right?
a mask that matches. So
Très chic.
there you have it. There
So
you
how
have it.
are you? What's going on in the last week?
I am well. What's going on in the last? Gosh, I feel like that was like
month
just
ago. I
yesterday,
know.
but so long ago, right? Because everything happened so much, and we've had the storm and everything. And so, for those that don't know, I am the director at People's Place, which is located at the corner of St. James Street and Broadway, and we have a community cafe, which is open to everybody. All of our programming is open to everyone. If you feel like you have a need, then you should definitely come and use our services. The thrift store is open to everyone. That's located at 17 St. James Street, so you go in the parking lot across from Keegan Ales. And I am always floored at the folks who think they can't shop there. And I say, well, if you like to thrift, do you go to the big box thrift stores or, a little one down the corner or something? And they're like, oh, yeah, of course. I said, then I don't know why you wouldn't go to People's Place, because any donations that are made to People's Place and anybody purchasing items through the thrift store are helping fund our 23 programs that we offer. So that's a nice way to help support and donate to People's Place and
back.
support the programming is by donating or shopping at the thrift store. And with the way the world is going, and we are very green. Everything we have is recycled, repurposed, reused,
right.
And you're helping to be a little kinder to Mother Earth.
And what's your hours at the thrift store?
So at the thrift store and the food pantry, we are open Monday through Friday from 10 to 1, and also on Wednesday evenings from 5 to 7.
Oh, that's great to know.
Yeah, the community cafe is open every day, Monday through Friday, from 8:30 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. So those hours are a little different because we want to cover breakfast.
Right.
And then, of course, we have the Wellness Empowerment Center, which is above the community cafe, and that is by class. So we have classes Monday through Friday, and you have to go to peoplesplace.org, click on the Wellness Empowerment Center, and you can see the list of all the different programs and workshops that we offer. We also are going to be offering each month going forward, beginning in February, a Wednesday evening of holistic health practitioners that will be there, I believe, from 4 to 7. That you can come in.
Offering healthcare
services, yeah.
Wow.
Reiki, reflexology, massage, just a whole different group of modalities. And again, especially the Wellness Empowerment Center and the Community Cafe are open to anyone and everyone in the community. And we really do want yourself. We would love both of you to come and take a class at the Wellness Empowerment Center or come and dine for lunch, because when the whole community comes together to use a service or to be at a certain location, you erase the stigma. And I think that that's so incredibly important to erase a stigma for folks, because nobody wants to go somewhere that they think they're going to be, oh, I saw Christine walking into XYZ. I didn't know that she was struggling. And when the whole community comes together, that gets erased.
Yeah, very true.
And I think
Very,
that
very
more
true.
folks who
Going there for
really...
the soup.
Right, and
the ideal would be, hey, they got great food. Let's go here.
Right. We do have great food.
Yeah, they do.
Our chef makes everything fresh every single day. So she's there at 7:30 each morning, cooking and chopping and mixing and blending.
I've had several lunches there over the last couple of months with through Deb Crump.
Yes.
She's bought lunch for us, working at the Elks Lodge, and comes up with a stack of 5, 6. And it's been great food. So soup, sandwiches,
menu changes.
Each day. Again, you can go to our website, peoplesplace.org. We have a icon for the community cafe, and you click on that, and it tells you the menu. And usually, the menu for lunch is up each day by 10 o'clock because lunch begins at 11, from 11 to 1. So, so I invite all of our listeners.
Great food. We always have lunch after our...
I love to hear that.
We always have lunch after our course that we do, the Love and Power of Sound, on Thursdays at 11 o'clock to 12:30. We always have that gorgeous lunch that you have and all those offerings that are down in the cafe. I also want to just... majorly to any listeners that are there right now, that the Wellness Empowerment Center is an enormous resource to this community right now. We do need this. We do need this wellness empowerment. And it is all about healing. It's all about great vibes, and it's all about new discoveries. And you have at your disposal free, incredible, highly trained professionals doing the work for you and delivering the goods.
Yeah, we're so fortunate. Thank you for that beautiful testimonial. We're very fortunate to have so many wonderful people throughout our community that come and give free classes. Again, it's open to anyone. The whole point of the center is to teach you skills that then you can bring home and empower your own life. That you don't have to come back and forth, or maybe you're home and like, oh, I remember this breathing technique, or oh, I remember I should stretch, or whatever is financial education. Oh, I remember I need to make my budget and I really want to work on that, or I should check my bank account. All these little things that you learn that you can bring back to your life and hopefully make it smoother and I'd like to say better. Yeah. And so, People's Place has been doing all kinds of outreach programming for 50 years now. This is our 50th anniversary, and from the records that we have, it shows that we began in 1972, very humbly down on Abeale Street, 105, 101 Abeale. And for those that don't know, we've been here 50 years. It started as an outreach with brothers and seminarians from Mount St. Alphonsus. So that is how we began, as a outreach that the seminarians had to do, as part of their studies within their curriculum. And they began, I believe, and this is where it's a little foggy, because as I was talking to somebody the other day who is a volunteer, current volunteer now, but she was on the board in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
So it was so great. I'm like, hey, I didn't know you were on the board in the 90s. And she's like, sure. And I was saying, we don't have great records from the 70s and the 80s. Some records from the mid-80s going forward, because in the mid-80s, in 1985, the brothers left the area and they went to D.C. and they turned the operation of People's Place over to a group of volunteers. So when the volunteers had it, that's when they started keeping board minutes and at least some records. And then they applied for their 501c3, which we obtained in 1988. Because prior to that, because we were basically being run under the arm of the Catholic Church, the brothers at Mount St. Alphonsus, we didn't need a tax exempt.
Right.
So when the brothers left, it took a few years for the volunteers to get the not-for-profit status for People's Place, but we did get the not-for-profit status in November of 1988. However, the early years are a little fuzzy. So if I know we have phenomenal listeners at Kingston Community Radio, and so if you were listening and you had anything to do with People's Place in the 70s and 80s or even 90s, 2000s, whenever it is, we would absolutely love to hear from you. We're trying to kind of piece together all of our history for the 50th anniversary a little bit more in depth than
Are you at liberty to say, or do you know any of those founding volunteers that, you know?
I don't. That therein lies part of the challenge. We have reached out, and I spoke to a very lovely father, from Mount St. Alphonsus, that deals with the archives of the Redemptorist Brothers.
That's great.
Not Mount St. Alphonsus, but the Redemptorist Brothers. And he was going to dig through the archives. But as the volunteer that I have from the 90s said, and her mom was really involved with People's Place in the 70s, but her mom has since passed on. Nobody ever thought it would, it's just something they were doing.
Right,
Nobody ever thought it would be anything and that it would ever last 50 years. So there's very few records.
And I'm sure there were seat at the pants at the time, and how we were going to get the rent. And
it was. I was blessed to be able to speak to a nun, Sister Norma, who was at St. Mary's at the time in the early 70s, from 72 to 77. And we had a lovely conversation last week. And she's going to send me a couple stories, but she doesn't really have records. And it was a while ago, so remembering everybody is hard. But she was saying how then it really started out as tutoring, the best that I can figure out and piece together. And then they realized that the kids were hungry. And interestingly enough, from the earliest records I can find, and some newspaper clippings from the early 80s where they did a couple of things for some volunteers, they always asked some monetary amount for clothing. 25 cents was what the article had said at the time. And so clothing,
they had a thrift store then.
They did.
Oh, okay.
They did. They always had some kind of thrift store going, it seemed, or at least once they started with clothes. And the food mostly came from donations from the different Catholic churches when the brothers were active. And also once they left, it was St. Mary's Church was heavily involved at the time also, and I believe St. Joseph's.
So it went from Beale Street, Christine, then up to Broadway?
Yes. So it went from 101, 105 of Beale Street, then to Lower Broadway. I think the number was like 71 or something like that.
What's 105? What's 101, 105? What's 101, 105 Beale Street now?
Armadillo, isn't
it? It is a couple doors down from Armadillo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
And then they went to Midtown, which is where the Broadmoor is.
Oh, all right.
Right, kind of across from the
that.
gas station.
Yeah.
From the gas station.
There's a cell place in there now or something.
There's
place or something in there now.
There's Tildy's Kitchen is there. The Metamorphosis moved there.
Okay,
There's a couple places there. And then they moved to where we are now as a renter in early 2000s, like 2005, I believe. And then we were extremely fortunate. I really say like the board was so phenomenal with their foresight that we were able to purchase the building when the property came up for sale 6 years ago already. It's almost 6 years. It's almost 6 years, I think, 5-6 years. So we have our forever home finally. And with our forever home, we have been afforded the opportunity to expand our services and open the community cafe, open the Wellness Empowerment Center. So
what an amazing journey and what an inspiring story when you think about how it started 50 years ago and where you're at today. Just a great celebration of 50 years of community giving back.
Of all the folks that have have helped and been helped and had been helped and then became helpers. And you see that trend over and over, that cycle over and over and over again, where folks maybe needed a little bit of assistance and then became volunteers.
Yeah.
So if you're listening out there, I would love to hear your stories of People's Place, what your experiences were, whether you were a volunteer, knew somebody who was a volunteer.
A caller. So.
Okay.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, George, how are you?
I believe one of the old directors of People Place was a lady by the name of B. Koski.
Yes.
Yes. And she lives over here in Ulster Park, New York, on Lindorf Street.
What era was that? Do you know?
Offhand, no, I do not, but I remember her telling my wife at different times, 'cause my wife goes over there just about every evening, because she's in her 90s.
Yes,
and that she was one of the old directors of People's Place.
Yes, she was a director after George Casson, and she had been a volunteer there for a long time in the 80s. And then she became the director, I believe, in the mid-90s, early to mid-90s, all the way until, I want to say like 99, maybe even a little bit later than that. She was very, very a big driving force in People's Place, growing forward, staying afloat. She was there when they expanded, when they moved to Midtown. They were in one of the spaces, and she was there when they expanded to all three spaces in Midtown. So yeah, she is a phenomenal asset to not just People's Place, but our community in general. Yes, big shout out to Bukowski.
She's one of my neighbors, too, so she's a very nice person. We've known her and stuff for years and everything else, so I just wasn't sure if you knew of her, so.
Yes.
But, yeah, no, B's a fantastic person.
Yeah, wonderful.
And,
Thank you so much.
Okay, so you guys have a great day.
Oh, thank you. If you think of anything, let us know.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Okay. Yep. Bye.
So, so my email is director@peoplesplaceuc.org. So you could email me, or you can always call us at 338-4030. Or we love visitors. Even with COVID, we're very cautious. Everybody has to mask up. We have hand sanitizer when you walk in. But if it's easier for you to come in and tell a little story, face to face, just
so be it.
Stop on in, and we will love to hear it, either myself or one of our staff members. We really want to try to put something together, and that's what I was saying. Whether you were a volunteer or even a recipient, we have a lot of folks who will come up to me. We have a couple of board members now who say, they are so committed to People's Place because growing up, their family used People's Place. And they're successful. And that's what we're all about, helping people out along the way to become, successful participants in our community. And
one wonderful thing to give back like that. That's amazing. Absolutely wonderful.
Are you planning on any particular big gala or open houses or some sort of celebration?
We have so many things in the works, and when I was waiting to come on in, I was listening, and I was thinking to myself, I have like 5 pans in the fire, but the wheels have not really been greased enough to be moving as quick as I like them. And I don't really want to put anything out there in case it doesn't happen, but we have a few different outreach programs that People's Place is going to be doing that we haven't before. And by February, I'll be able to tell you all of or at least a part of the information. But yes, we are planning on doing a few different events to celebrate our 50th anniversary.
We're going to have a birthday party.
Yeah.
House birthday party.
Yes. Different things like that will, reach out, that we want something that all people of the community can feel that they can participate in some way. Yeah.
You have to get your whole board around there to blow out 50 candles.
I know, right? Yeah, I think it's very exciting, very exciting. I did get the pleasure of meeting someone who was a brother, a seminarian, I should say, at the time. He was at People's Place in 1977.
Oh, so that's great.
Yeah.
And his name is Joe Pachora, and he was fabulous. We friended each other on Facebook several years ago because we have a mutual friend, and he finally had to come to Ulster County for a wedding in the fall.
Okay.
And so he reached out, and so he came, and he spent about 2 hours with us, and we gave him a tour, and we chatted about what People's Place was then, and I had always thought he was one of the founders, and that's when I found out that he wasn't. And it had already been in existence for basically 5 years before he got there. So he could tell us what happened when he was there. And one of the sweet things that Sister Norma told me when I spoke with her last week was, and also the brother or the father from the Redemptress, who's going to check their archives, is that every person they've come across that worked and had any involvement in People's Place from the 70s and 80s, they all talk about it so fondly. And they all chat about like what a great time they had when they were working on that project and when they were involved in People's Place. So I thought that was really wonderful. One of the stories she told me was that one day they decided the kids needed to go to the Catskill Game Farm. So she just put some kids in her car and drove her to the Catskill Game Farm. I'm like, you could never do that in today's world. But in 1973 or 4.
There's not a seatbelt for every child.
Christine, was it always called People's Place?
It was.
Always.
As near as we
Always.
can tell,
Yeah.
it was always called People's Place.
Wow.
And I think there was a "the" in the front of it, and it's funny because when sometimes certain reporters write about it, they'll call it the People's Place. But I don't know. It was, ever since I've been there, we've just said People's Place. And yeah, I don't know. But as far as I can tell, our actual legal name is not People's Place. When they had to do their 501c3, it's Kingston Self-Help Center, DBA People's Place.
Oh, isn't it?
I'm
Yeah, it
sure
must
People's
have
Place
been.
was taken by 1987
Yeah.
when they applied for it. So again, if anybody listening knows anything about any history, it doesn't matter from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s. If you were there when I first got there in 2012, this will be my 10-year anniversary in May.
Oh my gosh,
I would
that's
still
amazing
like
too.
I would still like to hear from you and chat with you about your experiences, or just call and say hello. I miss so many of the most beautiful thing I think about being at People's Place for myself is that I got to meet so many different folks. And you really do feel, when you hear the stories about how you've affected people's lives, that's wonderful. But it's meeting and befriending so many of the volunteers. Right. I think the hardest thing about being at People's Place is I have lost so many people whom I consider dear friends. Yeah. But what that shows is for the folks that come to People's Place and volunteer and even use our services, I've lost some really sweet people that I became friends with that I'd see every month, or, even some people just came in every day to say hello that have since passed on that used our services. It just shows that you really do make these human connections, and I think that is a huge part about what People's Place is about. It's not just the food that we give away for free and the meals that we provide and and the wellness, the tools that we try to teach people to make their lives better, or the clothing that we give. It's the human connection. And I think so much of that is missing right now.
Yes, and COVID just
more
makes it
important now than ever.
And so I have seen people who didn't know each other at all, who came to volunteer, become truly best friends. And that is probably the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, I would say that it's very, very, very cogent and significant that that you have everyone in the community coming.
Yes.
Not just, and that is a beautiful thing. People that are in the cafe, for instance, could be millionaires or struggling.
Correct.
And it doesn't matter.
Right.
It just doesn't matter. That's what's beautiful about the community of People's Place.
Right. And you just never know when, before COVID and we had more diners at the cafe. Now we do takeout also because there are people who are very, nervous about being. And one thing with the cafe is there's no prices for anything. If you want to donate, you can. There's a very discreet little donation box at the end of the counter, but there's nothing anywhere that gives a suggested donation price. And you are not asked, can you donate? It's totally, you come in, you get your food. If you want to stay and dine, we do have dining now. It's limited, but I think it's seats for like 20 people. But before COVID, I overhear, I'd be down there and I overheard one day, like one person was eating, another person was eating next to them, and they were talking about something with me, and all of a sudden the person next to them knew a place that this person could go, and they started explaining it to them, and I was like, this is what it's all about.
Right.
This is what it's all about. People helping each other, community helping one another. So it is very important. So anyway. So it's 50 years.
Yes, thank you. Call Christine with any updates, any history, anything about People's Place.
So thank you so much.
Yes,
thank
Nina,
you.
Great to have you back.
Thank you, Cam.
And,
Everybody have a terrific
yeah,
Tuesday.
man. Yep. All right. See you
All
next
right,
week.
Dan.
Dan, take it away.
Thank you, Christine Hine and People's Place, and thank you, Nina Poshtapak, Cameron Rylance, for bringing us a terrific Tuesday. This last portion of Kingston Community Radio has been brought to you by Rondout Savings Bank. Rondout Savings Bank, always working for you and the community with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park. Also online at rondoutbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Thank you for sharing the morning with us. Participating in Kingston Community Radio, KCR, AM 920, 92.5 FM, WGHQ. And we thank Pamel Broadcasting for giving us this time, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. each weekday, to bring you Kingston Community Radio. Talk radio at its best, inspired discussions of, by, and for the community. Thank you, Nina Poshtapak, Cameron Rylance, for bringing us a terrific Tuesday. We invite you to be with us tomorrow morning for a Super Wednesday. And until tomorrow, we wish you every success in building and developing Kingston and all our neighboring communities in Ulster County. We now return you to Magic 92.5.